Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the channel, and it looks like this is now official. The Fantastic Four are coming to Marvel Rivals in Season 1. Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. Okay, so this popped up on Chinese social media. Now, this appears to be the splash art or the key art for Season 1. Now, obviously, you can see you've got Fantastic Four there, smack bang in the middle of the image. And yeah, now there's been a lot of leaks flying all over the place, indicating that these heroes are actually coming to the game with a number of other heroes. Now, we don't know how many heroes are going to actually launch in Season 1, but I mean, if we get 4 heroes at the start of the season, I mean, like the 4 in the screenshot there, that is actually... that is bonkers. And I'm a little bit worried because maybe it'll be too much content. That just seems crazy. But then this got me thinking, right? We're going to take a look at some stuff with some of these heroes, Human Torch and Mr. Fantastic himself. And also, we're going to take a look at some developer news, which breaks down the FPS, I guess, nerf or the bug that I covered in a recent video. But basically, when the FPS is lower, you're at a disadvantage, and it's a pretty big disadvantage. And we've got some news on new crossover events as well. So we're going to break all of this down. There's so much stuff going on with this game. It's just crazy. What? So firstly, I was like, oh, there's a new Fantastic Four movie coming out. I know there is next year. What time is that coming out? It was actually in July. So I thought this was a little bit earlier on in the year. But I guess no. But if you do look, it was previously scheduled for November the 8th, 2024. And then February the 14th, 2025, and May the 2nd, 2025. And now it's been pushed back to July. So it is interesting if that is true. I mean, I've taken this from Google. Maybe this isn't inaccurate or whatever. But yeah, maybe there was a time frame there with back in sort of February the 14th. That's kind of what they were going for. Yeah, because that would make sense, wouldn't it, with the thing. Anyway, let's take a look at some of these heroes. So here is a closer sort of look at the in-game art for Human Torch and Mr. Fantastic. I believe they're both DPS, I think. But yeah, there is a lot of stuff floating around on the internet. You can do a lot of like searching around, and you can find leaks, and are they true? Are they not true? Who knows? If people are pulling them out of the game files, then yeah, maybe they can be believable. The problem is it can be from an older build of the game. And I think also as well, there was a little bit of drama with one of the notable leakers who was actually just editing the stuff anyway they were putting out. So yeah, there's a load of trolling, baiting, all of that going on all over the place. However, take a look at this. So let's take a look at Human Torch. Now this, again, like I said, guys, it might not be accurate. Take it with a pinch of salt. But it is quite interesting if you go through the ability list, especially that team-up ability, Omega Fire, because this might turn Storm into an absolute monster. I think let's just start with the team-up because it looks crazy. Storm can consume one of Human Torch's fire tornadoes into her ultimate to ignite her hurricane. Likewise, Human Torch can turn Storm's hurricane into a fiery hurricane with his ultimate, which will then enlarge and intensify any of his fire tornadoes caught in its path. So that just seems like an absolutely ridiculous wombo combo. The only thing I'd say, though, is actually Storm's ultimate generally just kill everyone anyway. So, I don't know. Maybe it's just sort of massive overkill. But, I mean, that's insane. His primary fire is Fire Cluster. Launch forward a splittable fireball. And then his abilities, the ultimate ability being Supernova, unleash shockwaves, deal damage to enemies within range. During skill activation, the flame field will transform into a fire tornado. Plasma Body is his shift ability. I'm not sure what the button is on consoles, guys, so I apologize. But hold shift to enter a state of accelerated ascent. So that's quite good. You can just fly straight up into the sky. Pyro Prison. Connect flame fields to form a firewall that deals burning damage to enemies. So area denial. Flaming Meteor, dive towards the ground and stun nearby enemies, and then Blazing Blast, launch a fireball to create a flame field at a targeted area. So this looks crazy. It looks like area denial, it looks like verticality, it looks like good range damage. This just looks crazy, and with it like an insane team up with Storm. But again, like I said, this might not be final, this might not even be accurate, but if it is a fake, it's a pretty good fake. But anyway, yeah, Fantastic Four are coming to the game, and are we just going to get all 4 heroes straight away? Because that is actually bonkers if that happens. So what about this FPS bug? I mean, this is actually insane. So basically what was happening is if you had a bad PC or you had low frame rates on console for whatever reason, you were actually less effective than somebody with higher frame rates. Now, of course, this is magnified on PC because if you've got like some supercomputer from NASA, you've got like insane FPS. Then if you've got some like, I don't know, 20-year-old rig that wouldn't even be able to play the game. I'm not even, these comparisons are terrible. Who the hell gets a computer from NASA? What am I even talking about? But you know what I'm saying, right? I've got a 4090, I've got high frames per second. Then if, you know, I was playing on a 1080, it's not going to be the same, right? You're going to have lower frames per second. But what was actually happening in the game is you were doing more damage. You had more range on your abilities, on your movement abilities, if you had higher frames per second. That is actually terrible game design. But the developers have actually addressed this. So check this out. This is from James, one of the community managers in the Discord server. Hey Rivals, the team has noticed the recent discussions about hero movement and damage issues in Marvel Rivals related to frame rate. We are planning upcoming fixes to address these concerns as well. So firstly, hero movement and frame rate issues. Some heroes are currently experiencing movement problems related to frame rates. This is something we're aware of, and our upcoming S1 version will address and fix these issues. So, like I showed you, I'm not going to put it in this video, I'll just quickly go over what it was, but I showed you guys the issue with Magic, where Magic's dash ability, you basically had more range on it, so you could dash from 15 meters, and then it would trigger the attack component where you knock targets up in the air. If you had higher FPS above 30, when you started getting lower FPS, wouldn't actually trigger. So the devs are addressing this here and saying we're going to fix this, and I think what they're saying is it's going to be fixed in the Season 1 patch. So this is good news. So what about hero damage? Now this one is more prevalent because not every hero has a movement ability as such, but every hero does damage, and some heroes are just straight up doing more damage because, well, you've got more FPS, right? Wolverine was a great example, Star-Lord was an example. Just stupid, right? But this is what the devs say. Hero damage and frame rate issues. A small number of heroes do have damage-related issues related to frame rates as well. After using Feral Leap, Shift, Wolverine's Savage Claw, left click, is notably affected by frame rate issues, especially in tests against stationary targets. However, in actual gameplay, the difference might not be very noticeable. So that's interesting, isn't it? They're basically saying, I think, if the other target is moving around a lot, then maybe it's not as noticeable as if it's just a stationary target. But still, it shouldn't be happening, right? And I think using the training range to highlight these problems is definitely, it's definitely viable. The underlying cause of these issues is tied to the client-side prediction mechanism, which is crucial for maintaining a smooth gameplay experience. We're actively working on finding a comprehensive solution that fixes these issues without compromising the smoothness of the game. This will take some time, but rest assured, we are committed to addressing it, and you can expect a fix in a future patch. So, there's two things going on here. The movement issue is going to be fixed when Season 1 drops, which isn't that far away. However, the damage issue is not going to be fixed for a while. I think this requires extensive work on the engine in the back end. They need to change the way the clients interact with the server, and the server then interacts with the clients, what data the server is taking off the clients, things like delta time, and all these words have been thrown around recently, and I don't even pretend to understand them. But basically, I think it just comes down to the game, the server, so what everybody joins to play on, it's taking too much information from the clients. So if you've got a high FPS, you're basically sending more updates to the server, and it thinks that you're doing more of something than you shouldn't be, in a very layman's way of explaining it, right? That's not entirely accurate, but yeah, it's a highly complex issue. I actually quite like that the devs are saying it is complicated. It's going to take us time to fix this, so just chill, which is fine. New collaborations are coming to the game as well with other Marvel games, which I don't think this really comes as any kind of surprise. We don't actually have the details of this, but we do know the games that are going to feature in the collaborations, or like I said, we don't really know what's going to happen with the collabs, but whatever. So this is what they say. We're teaming up with Marvel Snap, Marvel Puzzle Quest, and Marvel Future Fight to bring you a brand new collaboration available on January the 3rd. So if you're watching this video the day it goes live, it will literally tomorrow this will come out. So we'll have to wait and see what this is. I believe Marvel Rivals is the Hearthstone style card game, which I think is made by, well, the lead director on that is Ben Brode, I believe, who was one of the lead guys behind Hearthstone. I think that features a lot of sort of ex-Blizzard developers and community managers and things like that involved in that game. The other 2 games, I'm not really sure what they are. These could just all be mobile games as well. Again, I'm not really sure what they are. I think they are all mobile games. I know you can play Snap on your PC. I guess you could play any mobile game on your PC with emulators, but, you know, you get my point. Collabs are coming. So check this out. Look at this. Look at this for an introduction for a cosmetic. Now, you guys know me. I like cosmetics. Yeah, I like the look of them. I know they're very expensive in these games. All of that stuff. But just look at this, right? It's obviously for Lunar New Year. It's a Moonknight skin. Look at the detail on this skin again. It looks crazy. It's got different effects. It just looks crazy. Like, this is insane. I think we get to see the ultimate in a second. Yeah, he's going to fly down. I think he drops the ult. Go on, drop the ult. Do it, Moonknight. Would have been nice to see the Anks look a bit different. Maybe the ultimate does look the same, actually. So maybe I'm overselling it. There's a nice MVP animation. But again, all of this stuff, it looks really cool. This actually looks really good. There is another skin, though, as you can see there. It is Squirrel Girl, but we can take a bit of a closer look at that now. Yeah, so there we go. That is Squirrel Girl, Cheerful Dragoness, and Moonknight, the Lunar General, and they're available on January the 3rd. So again, this will be tomorrow if you're watching this video today. Yeah, they look sick. They look really good. Squirrel Girl is super annoying. I forget how good Squirrel Girl is in close combat because of the AoE of her bloody primary fire. So whenever I see her, I'm like, oh yeah, Squirrel Girl. I try and take her on with Mantis. 1v1, it never works out. Yeah, I go in and stun her and she just turns around and kills me. Whatever. But it's basically the Junkrat of this game. But yeah, these skins look sick. And again, I think there's no surprise that we're getting Lunar New Year skins, which, again, I think they're really cool as well. So yeah, good skins, good quality, good fidelity. They look really good, as do most of the skins in this game. They're just very expensive, but hey, free-to-play game. This is a little bit more additional info on these skins as well. So as we know, they'll be available on Friday the 3rd, of January. I think that's at 7 a.m. potentially my time. You guys have seen that. I think it's using the Discord time code. But yeah, they just say Moonknight, Lunar General, the invincible general of Kunlun, clad in azure scales and ready to guard the temple of the crescent moon. And Squirrel Girl, Cheerful Dragoness, the forest deity commanding a legion of unstoppable dragon-tailed squirrels. Get ready to unleash their dragon might, and they are coming to the shop. So this looks like it could be actually crazy. Now remember, we don't actually have any major balance changes coming to the game just yet. There is the potential that they're going to do this with the launch of Season 1. Now maybe we're going to get... This sounds really bonkers to say this, but can you imagine wholesale balance changes? Obviously there's some heroes that need looking at balance-wise, right? We won't name them in the video, but you guys know who they are. Then you look at adding heroes. If we get 4 heroes straight away, that's actually just crazy. And like I said, there are leaks that are indicating maybe even 6 heroes would get added at launch of Season 1. I can't see that happening. That seems insane to me. But 4 also seems insane. You would think if they had a season, I guess, with the Fantastic Four being the sort of figureheads of the season, you'd maybe launch, like, I don't know, Mr. Fantastic first, and then Human Torch, and then just, you know, the Thing, and then just go down the list kind of thing. Maybe, but we just don't know. We just don't know what their plan is when it comes to adding content to the game. We've seen content get added fairly rapidly in terms of skins and stuff. But what I will say is this, right? We know there are quite a lot of new content coming in Season 1. I believe in the dev update, they said there's 8 maps coming to the game. 8 maps? Are you joking me? 8 maps? Like, what the hell? What? I mean, it's boggling my mind. So there is like one little negative to all of this. I'm kind of thinking if they add this much quantity to the game, maybe it will cause some sort of burnout to the player base because there's just that much coming to the game. But then here's the other question, and this is kind of, I suppose, an interesting thing to see what's going to happen. If you do flood a game with so much content, what will actually, will the player base, will they like it? Will they be able to keep up with it? Because I still feel like there's tons of content in this game anyway. We do need new maps, don't get me wrong. Heroes, though, yeah. We do need heroes at some point, but we've got that many in the game right now. You can just, you know, I don't feel strapped for heroes at the moment, but hey, apparently we're going to get a load more. So there you go, guys. Those are the details that we've got so far on Season 1, on some changes to some pretty notable bugs to the game, and some new stuff coming to the store. But I'm very excited for this. I want to see what Season 1 brings. You guys in the comments below, let me know what you think about all of this. Let me know, how do you think they're going to deploy the Fantastic Four heroes? I think I'd be interested to see what you guys think about that. All right, guys, thanks for watching the video. I've been Stylosa. Remember, you can follow me on everything, which is at Stylosa, and I'll catch you lovely lot on the next one. See you soon.